Okay, we're going to continue here. The next step I just did, I didn't record only because it literally took too much time to get those wheels in place with the bridge on. I've been so out of practice on these that sometimes when I was doing these a lot, I could knock that out in 3 minutes. Put everything in, falls right into place. Not so much this time. They are in place, and I'm going to lubricate those jewels with D5 Microgliss from Mobius. I got my smallest oiler here, and we're just going through. And if you look at the jewels closely, there's a little divot, a depression, I guess you would call it, that kind of makes a well for the oil to lay in. The slower moving parts, you can use a heavier oil, and your fast moving parts, you use a thinner oil. That's a good rule of thumb. And like I said, everybody's going to have their opinion on what they like. This works for me, and it seems to work well for the movement. I get good performance out of them. Have I taken them apart after so many years? No. But it's a little heavy. When you get good performance out of it, it tends to show how well it's running. The other thing is, some oil is better than no oil. So make up your own mind. Make your own decision on what oils you're using. Mobius oils aren't cheap, I'll tell you that, but it seems to be the industry standard. They really last a long time. Alright, where's my third one? Here it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, we're going to put the pallet fork in and the bridge. But before we do that, I'm going to cycle that movement, I guess you would call it, cycling the movement. I'm going to put a few clicks into this, and you can see those wheels turning. I didn't put a whole lot into it. I don't want them spinning too quick, but there's movement there. Everything's working good. So I'm going to go and we'll go to the pallet fork. Yeah, everything's working nice and smoothly there. Pallet fork, here it is. If I can pick it up without dropping it. It's amazing when you're out of practice for a while how you really gotta take your time with these. Do a couple of these a week and you'll be fine. But when you're out of practice, it takes time. Let's make sure we're in the shot. Come on. Hey, yay. Are you in the shot? Yeah, I'm in the shot. Yep. Yep, the less practice you have, the more tedious this becomes. Still fighting a head cold, so that doesn't make things work for me. Come on. can see my frustration. Okay, come on. It feels like it's in the jewel there. Should be. Maybe we'll get it on this try. Son of a motherless goat. Come on. Who knows the movie that's from? Son of a Motherless Goat. I believe it was Spies Like Us. Alright. Oh my goodness. Boy, you talk about tedious. Sheesh. That's not in. Wow, let me take out of the shot there and take a look at that with a loop. What a pain. Well, it's in there, I believe. I gotta flip it over and double check it. But before I do, I'm gonna put that screw in lightly. I'm not gonna mash on it, just to hold it in place when I turn it over. Okay, let's take a look. Yep, need a stronger loop. Looks good. Okay. I know these are taking a little bit more time than usual. That's because of all my excuses. Head cold, out of practice, you name it. It's one of those things. So, we're going to tighten that up. Let's make sure we're moving back and forth here. Okay. We're going to tighten that up. Okay, let's put a few ticks in here. Let's get it in the shot. I put a few clicks into that mainspring, and if I just barely touch that fork, it should move back and forth. There you go. Is that showing up on the video? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that's working good. That's a good sign. Now, what kind of oil are we putting on that? What are we putting on that? Probably not the D5. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this. Very light, thin oil. Uh, 9-4 Mobius 941. There's only a couple of oils that I do use for servicing these. Don't need 16 different oils. If it's just a hobby and you're just tinkering, I can't imagine having all those different oils. So let's come to this side. And let's start putting that keyless works together. What do you think? Should I end this video now? Nah, maybe not. Who cares? If I get long-winded, I get long-winded. So before we go ahead, I'm going to take some of that lighter oil. I'm going to oil this post right here, and the next one. That's going to get a smear. Put a little bit right there. You can get crazy with the oiling spots and make sure this runs well and it'll be fine. I don't know what I'm saying. So we drop that in. I know my lighting's not so good. The sun coming through the windows doing things to it. Casting shadows. Okay, now the stem, I am not going to oil the stem yet. I do that later. I just get everything all assembled first, and then I will put some lubrication on there. And I will use, for now, I will use some D5 in that groove. I'm going to put some D5 in that groove on the stem where this next part goes in. What is that next part? Don't know. Does this got to get turned over? This part, right there. Where that part fell into the groove is where I put the lubrication on. Also, a little bit of D5 in this guy right here. Hopefully it's in the shot. It should be. On that wheel. Keyless wheel, keyless works. Okay, there we have that. The spring is next. That spring has a dust on it, or a lint. Now, how do we do that spring? I don't use my good tweezers. I'll get one of my cheaper ones. I'm going to grab onto it and hold it with my left hand. I'm going to kind of pick it up and make sure it doesn't fly away. And there you have it. You don't touch it now. You don't want to do anything until after you put this spring on top. We're going to put this wheel on. There we go. Okay, there's our little cover plate, holds everything in place. Screws are next, very tiny. This can be tedious if you're not real steady. I'm a little shaky today from the medication, from being sick. Ay, 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 drives you nuts. but I do have a drink to calm me down. I know you're not supposed to drink when you're on medication. Well, I'm not getting banged up. I'm not even getting lubricated. One drink ain't gonna kill me. Of course, that one. Where'd that one go? See, that's what happens. Okay. Now I gotta find that bugger. I could look back in the video, see what direction it took off. Let's put put one in at least. I do see it. It ended up over here. Okay, I got it. In case you missed it, I lost a screw. It took off on me. It's very hard to get this in the shot without all these shadows. Man, there it goes again. Ay, 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 ay. Yep. I didn't lose my screws. I do have a screw loose, that I'll tell you. Everybody knows that. Everybody that knows me knows I got a screw loose. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Genius. Finally get this thing done. It's only been a week because I got a couple more that I want to do, a couple more projects I'm going to put up that I think my next project I think somebody will like. I hope. Okay, so what do I do for this one? I'm going to lubricate this device here, Mobius 8200. It's almost like a grease. It's got a grease-like consistency, so it's holds its place. It's very slippery. I just put a little smear on there like that. So that's Mobius 8200. Is that the proper grease? I don't know, but it works. Who cares? So before we shut this off, we're going to test the keyless works. I'm going to give them a click. You can see the train there moving back and forth. There's a little slop in that wheel, isn't there? I'm going to take a look at that when I turn off the video. So here's this part completed.